An introduction for the Naxos Audiobooks edition of Pax Britannica, being the second volume of the Pax Britannica trilogy. In 1897, Queen Victoria of England celebrated the Diamond Jubilee of her reign, with a mighty jamboree in her capital city, London. This book tries to capture something of the splendour of the event, and I hope something of its subtler meaning too. The Queen was not only the Queen of Great Britain, she was the totemic ruler of the greatest empire the world had ever seen. But if the magnificence of the Jubilee commemorated the true apex of her reign, she was to die only 4 years later, it was also to give to history ironic warning of her empire's decline. The empire certainly spanned the world. The Queen's flag flew from the Falkland Islands to the Yukon, from Hong Kong to Jamaica, and 370 million people of every race, colour and religion owed her their allegiance, for the most part with loyal fervour. The British themselves basked in the glory of it, and in the vast successes their nation had achieved during her reign. From the early mastery of steam and commerce, to dominance or distinction in finance, in manufacturing, in science and the arts, and above all in libertarian stability. Britain was the world's workshop, and Britons never would be slaves. They were winners, and they knew it. Even Beethoven had told them so, when he admiringly wrote a set of variations around their unofficial national anthem, Rule Britannia. But they were also too sure of themselves. Their national mood had become overblown, too brassy, too boastful, too vulgar perhaps. Their command of the oceans, which they'd been particularly proud of since Nelson's day, was fundamentally dependent upon their economic success, and already other powers were overtaking Britain in industrial production and were preparing to build great fleets of their own to challenge the sovereignty of the seas. What was more fateful was this, that if the vast majority of the Queen's overseas subjects were content enough, more and more of them, especially in Africa and India, were becoming restive. Nationalism was beginning to stir. The marching colonial cohorts that honoured the Queen Empress that day impressed everyone who saw them, but not represented in the parade were dissident Boers of South Africa, dissatisfied intellectuals of Bombay or Calcutta, and even the minority of Britons themselves, who didn't believe in the justice of the imperial idea. Never mind. This book reflects above all the cock-a-hoop majesty of the moment.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?